What's up, everybody? This is Alex Winking Michael, and welcome to another episode of the AM News Show. In this show, I like to kind of recap some stories that I may not have touched on in the previous week, or if it's a slow news day, I just like to kind of do this show to kind of just touch on a few things that I don't think could merit a full deep dive video, but do definitely warrant some interest. Changing the format up just a little bit, just really going to kind of switch back and forth. I'm obviously not at the desk like this show typically is, but had a few articles that I wanted to kind of show off too. So I've got 3 stories today. First up, on the AM News Show, we have James Gunn has returned to Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think that this move really surprised anybody. This has kind of been floating around there for a while with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has been kind of in limbo since his departure. I don't think this was a shocker. I think the biggest shocker was the fact that he was fired for whatever it was. These little tweets that were jokes, obviously. Yeah, were they off color? Yeah, were they a little bit offensive and a little bit like, really, dude? A little cringeworthy, but still, I mean, come on. This was definitely not a fireable offense. This is the culture that we encourage on Twitter and all of these social media platforms. I don't know. But it's good to see him back. He's also, it looks like he's still going to continue to do the Suicide Squad movie. The Suicide Squad 2, which is kind of like a reboot. And then he's going to dive into Guardians of the Galaxy 2 after that is what it looks like. But I will link these articles in the description below, like always when I use them. Jumping on to the next topic, we're going to talk about the Division 2 sales. So this is interesting. So Eurogamer has put out the sales numbers for the Division 2 last week on launch week, and they are not very encouraging right now. Now keep in mind this is just UK sales. They always come out first, but there are a few factors to consider that this Eurogamer article does touch on. But the headline is the grabber. The Division 2 physical launch sales are just 20% of Division 1's. Now, let's keep in mind, if we scroll down here and look at the top 10 list, the Division 2 was the number 1 selling game in the UK. With Anthem is completely out of the top 10 after 4 weeks. Also, 2 things to keep in mind. 1, the Division 2 launched on a Friday, not a Tuesday, so there is that. Number 2 is this does not include digital downloads. So that's sort of another major issue. Obviously, it's a much bigger issue since the Division 1 came out in 2016. And obviously more and more physical copies of the game, meaning Division 1, were sold back in 2016 as opposed to now. So 2019, the Division 2, these sales numbers do not take into account digital downloads. I do feel like that number is going to be substantially higher because of the value, the early access, all that good stuff. I think a lot of people wanted to play this game on PC. I really think those numbers are going to be strong. The writer of this article does not agree with me. He says neither of these things will come close to making up the difference. I hope that's incorrect. If you haven't played the Division 2 and you like shooting games, you like shooters, you like looter shooters, you like looter games, I'm telling you, play it. It is absolutely phenomenal. I will say this game should get an award for the absolute worst trailer in video game history because the trailer does not do it justice. This game is absolutely masterfully done. It is well done. It is beautiful. It is incredibly engaging. Man, if you play it with headphones. You will not be disappointed. The firefights are absolutely intense. Really well done game. Just the right amount of difficulty. I can't say enough good things about it. I think it's absolutely awesome. And let's jump into our last story. We're going to talk GDC 2019. This is via Tom's Guide. So GDC 2019 is upon us. It started today. For those of you that do not know what GDC is, it's the Game Developers Conference. Generally speaking, I don't think a lot of news comes out of this thing. Usually you get 1 or 2 kind of big items, and then the rest of it's a lot of workshops and stuff for indie developers. Like if you were to go look up the GDC 2019 calendar of events, it is just riddled. Like today is like classes, like all classroom material, like how to market your game and all kinds of stuff you can see. And then you'll get a couple of, not E3 level type shows or like Nintendo Direct type shows, but you will get some announcements. And obviously the big one everybody's watching at GDC 2019 is Google. Google is there. Google has some stuff to talk about, and everybody's looking at their big gaming debut, Project Stream. There's all kinds of speculation as far as what Google is going to say. People think that they're going to say something about a major console announcement. If you are of that opinion, I think you're going to be disappointed, because whatever console they're going to announce something that is more on par with a streaming device. So I don't think you're going to see a super powerful console release here. You're going to see something very simple, more peripheral driven, probably a really great controller, but something that you can plug and play anywhere and play games on. And I think that's going to be kind of their true calling, so to speak. As far as other announcements from Google, I don't know that we're going to see anything else. I mean, I think Project Stream is a big one. They've invested a ton of money. It's a major sector as far as dollars and revenue goes. So I think you're going to see some pretty interesting announcements from Google. I just wouldn't expect something major like them entering the hardware wars or anything like that with Sony and Microsoft, which I still contest that Sony and Microsoft are much better poised to take a larger share of that market, just due to the fact that they have the brand recognition, the household name, and they have roughly totaled together over 150 million consoles, I believe, or close to 150 million consoles in people's homes today. I think those are going to be two major winners for Sony and Microsoft. But Google will have its time to shine. I don't know what day their press conference is. I'm not sure if it's in this article or not. Their big keynote address is scheduled for 10 a.m. tomorrow. So 10 a.m. Tuesday, and we can watch it on YouTube, believe it or not. So there's that. But Google is promising, just a side note here, Google is planning as anyone's guess, but the company promises it will redefine the future of gaming. Google doesn't tend to disappoint when they make announcements, but I don't know. We'll see. So the game streaming service is called Yeti. For what it's worth, one potential reading is that Google plans to release its own game streaming service called Yeti. Other reports suggest the company is working on its own console to compete with the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. However, a lot of speculation on the console front appears to be a patent for a game controller submitted by Google back in January. There's no hard evidence to suggest that a console is more or less likely than a standalone game streaming service. And there really is no hard evidence either that Yeti is a game streaming service. But after Google's successful Project Stream experiment, that's where my money would be if I were a betting man. Because Google may be the belle of the ball. There's other big... Sony will show up, although the company doesn't seem to have any big consumer announcements on tap. The PlayStation maker will focus on developer-centric panels for hit games like Spider-Man and God of War. And then, of course, NVIDIA will be there. So GDC this year seems to me like it's going to be a little bit down, but everybody's really looking forward to what Google has to say. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Are you excited for GDC? Is it cool that James Gunn is back in Marvel? I think it is. I think it's long overdue. Should have never happened. Division 2 sales, are you worried? Is the Division 2 underperforming? I don't think so. I think we're going to be fine there too. But let me know about everything in the comments below, whatever you think. I read all the comments, I respond, and I just want to say thank you all so much for the support. I genuinely, sincerely appreciate all the support that everybody's given me. And, please like and subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more like it. I tend to upload 4 to 5 times a week. But that's all for this AM News Show, and I will see you on the next one.